It's the New Normal Podcast with Adam Brandt. Hey there. Thanks for tuning in to It's the New Normal. I'm your host, Adam Brandt, also known as the world famous Chubby Snowbird. Hello again. It's been a couple weeks as I've been busting my butt to get our new food trailer open. I'm happy to announce that the Bistro Burger Truck had an amazing debut weekend this past weekend, selling out of everything just before closing time on Saturday. So much weight just slides off the shoulders when most things go as planned. Of course, there were hiccups, still dealing with some paperwork issues with the city. I had to buy a bigger tow vehicle, but all in all, things couldn't have went smoother with the food and equipment side of things. Just in time to make a few dollars before the dreaded April 15th tax due date. Today, we're going to touch on a couple topics, including taxes and a couple other things that humans just don't understand. Let's get into it. I spent my Sunday going through paperwork to ready myself for the annual butt railing from Uncle Sam. I mean, every day we pay taxes in some form or another. But for a small business owner, April is the worst. It's that time of year when you get to watch your hard earned money just evaporate into some cesspool of stolen productivity in order to help pay interest on the debt that a bunch of assholes decided was good for the country. When I had a job, the thieves got their cut every week. Taking it in small increments all year long may have made it easier to swallow, but damn it, it didn't make it right. You see, I'm in a seasonal business. We work 30 weeks a year. Maybe I should pay a bit in every quarter. But honestly, we don't really begin earning until quarter 3, especially this year as I'm beginning over 30,000 in the hole with purchases. Plus, why let the assholes have access to my money any earlier than April 15th? Anyhow, Mrs. Snowbird has been lubing up my butthole with Vaseline in preparation for Uncle Sam to remind me who in fact is the real boss. It's such a lousy feeling, filling out the boxes, knowing that when I'm done, I'll be presented with an absurd number that I owe the masters. And they say it's voluntary. Sure, ask Wesley Snipes how voluntary that shit is. It's strange. They have no idea what I earned in 2024. I could say fuck it and tell them I made $0. Of course, they'd be even further up my anal cavity if I told them that. But again, how do they know? I'll tell you how. 85% of all transactions last year were through credit or debit cards. They know everything. Years ago, people used cash. Remember those greenish rectangular pieces of paper you carried around in a wallet or purse? They couldn't track the cash and they hate it. Also, those asshole bankers can't take a bite out of every single financial transaction when cash is used. Of course, one has to put cash in the bank if they ever wanted to buy something large. Even with cash, they sort of know everything about you. Anyhow, where are my income tax dollars vanishing to? Can you answer it? Can anyone? They feed us lies about where the tax dollars go. Roads, schools, programs, defense. Wait a minute. I thought the roads were funded through tax on gasoline and diesel. Every fill up, a bit goes to the state and some goes to the feds. Every single gallon of fuel. Schools. Isn't that a property tax deal? Just like the zoos, libraries, and other programs? So what are sales taxes for then? Every single purchase. I don't know. I guess it pays for administration, law enforcement, fire and rescue. Okay, everything is paid for. But wait a minute. We still haven't paid our income tax. What's the deal? Property, sales, gas tax? They fund all the stuff we use. So why do we pay income tax? It's tricky, isn't it? Social Security gets its own funding. Sorta. Medicare? All right. But where do the bulk of my income tax dollars go? The city took some, the state gets some, and the feds get a bunch. Some states don't collect an income tax. How the fuck do they survive as a state? Oh, yeah. Sales tax, gas tax, property tax. So if one state can do it, why can't all the states? Think about that. If all the states could operate without a income tax, then why not the feds? Of course, only half the country really pays income tax anyhow, and many receive more money from the government than they will ever pay in. But, producers just trying to be successful are the big problem in this nation. What would happen if the half that pays taxes just stopped? Armageddon. You can see how AI is going to cause widespread damage. When the algorithms and robots take the jobs, less and less folks will be paying into the system. Could there be a day in the future where taxation actually becomes unnecessary? Shit, if nobody is paying in, they'll have to come up with some new way to fund the system. I guess time will tell. But here we are. It's 2025 and taxes are due. Here's a rundown of where the internet says our income tax dollars flow to. Health insurance. Wait a minute. Insurance. 24% of income tax dollars go to health insurance. Remember, insurance isn't health care. Insurance is for-profit middlemen. How on earth does a quarter from every dollar go to health insurance? It doesn't make any sense. Feels like our tax dollars subsidize the biggest fucking scam known to man. Insurance. Imagine just for a minute if that quarter actually went towards care. Real life health care. 21% Social Security. What the fuck? Social Security already takes 7% from all of us and another 7% from employers. For business owners like myself, I pay the worker and employer portion, so 15 cents from every dollar I make goes to Social Security. And had the assholes not raided the coffers, Social Security would be in great shape. But no, they stole it and used it for their dumb shit. So now it costs more than it brings in. Fucking ridiculous. But heck, it's the new normal for every program to cost more than it receives. Math is hard. The next two expenditures are neck and neck at around 13% apiece. Defense and interest on debt. Wow. Over a quarter from every dollar goes to bomb makers, trillion-dollar aircraft, laughable salaries of servicemen and women, and interest to a global cabal of bankers. The federal government's only job is to keep us safe. I get having a nice budget for defense. Problem is, that money goes to Boeing, Halliburton, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, RTX, and so on and so on. The actual humans, the men and women of the armed forces that sacrifice their lives, get shit on, earning less than the brat fucking up your fast food order. It's bullshit. Can you believe that? And then I don't even know what to say about the debt interest. I mean, if 13 cents from every dollar collected, goes to interest on debt, how much is going to the debt itself? And you know what? I can't find a chart stating that we pay any debt, just the interest, which will continue to grow forever if we're not paying down any debt. Next on the chart, benefits for veterans and federal retirees shows up at 8% of spending. I am 100% in support of taking care of our veterans, and I'm quite certain we do a shitty job of it. I'd venture out to guess that if the federal workforce wasn't so damn bloated, the veterans might actually receive what they're owed for putting their country before themselves. How are there so many federal retirees. That nearly a dime from every dollar is gone. Remember, federal government's job, its sole job, is to keep us safe. Why does it take so many federal workers to accomplish that? Oh, and how do these politicians get retirement benefits for life after serving one term? That's some bullshit. 7% to economic security programs. What on earth is an economic security program? Here's something. Get a fucking job if you want economic security. It is not the federal government's job to take care of you. So between Social Security and economic security, 28 cents from every dollar is spent. Holy shit. If you're wondering, 86 cents from every dollar is already spent. Insurance, social programs, banks, and bombs. It's insane. Shit. There's 5% left for education, which we thought was already paid for through property taxes. Then the random shit, transportation, whatnot, and other. I don't know about you, but I feel very poorly represented in where I believe my tax dollar should be spent. And you can say all you want about DOGE, but dang, man, it's about time we figure out where our tax dollars are going. And maybe, just maybe, these guys can clean up a decades old mess. Speaking of cleaning up, that leads us right into the second half of today's episode, personal hygiene. Taking care of oneself seems like such a simple ask. I mean, if you're physically capable of washing, there's no reason to ever step outside spreading around stench and bacteria. I mean, did parents stop teaching this? We know schools are failing children in nearly every aspect, through no fault to the teachers. But if we are unable to clean ourselves, society is fucked. I'm old, but not old enough to remember the days before indoor plumbing and running water. I get it. Back then, folks just didn't have access to what I've known all my life. Hot water, bathtub, shower, soap, all under one roof. There's even a room. We call it the bathroom. You know, the first weird thing is the bathroom, the room we clean ourselves in, is usually loaded with more bacteria than any other room in the house. Because who decided to put the toilet in the bathroom? The room for bathing and cleaning ourselves has to be the same room we defecate in? Sounds like poor planning. My damn toothbrush is in the same room. I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I think poor hygiene, in fact, starts right in the bathroom. Exhibit 1. Using the toilet. Is there a class on effective and cleanly use of a toilet? We all understand the toilet, at least at a rudimentary level. It's a hole we poop and pee in. We flush and the gross stuff disappears. Just like our tax dollars. Poof, gone. Have you ever thought about the process from start to finish? Is there a tutorial on proper use of the toilet on YouTube? Nobody wants to talk about it, but there is a technique, a process. One must take great care to not spread shit all over the room you're supposed to get clean in. I want you to envision your process. You've just lost 3 pounds and you're about to pass out from your own smell. You're debating your dietary choices. You grab the Costco 2-ply and gently ready it to smear crap from one end of your opening to the other. A process that's repeated until the brown streaks no longer mark the pristine white paper. Awesome. It's time to pull up them drawers and magically disappear Tuesday's tacos to the forbidden, never seen, fecal wasteland. How does one accomplish this? You've got to lean over and touch the flush knob or button. And this is where things go downhill, and very quickly. Do you use your wipe hand to flush? or your non-wipe hand? Come on, you've had to think about it. Gross if you use your wipe hand. Even if you don't, danger is lurking at your next move. The poop is gone. You've probably got deuce juice on at least one hand, and surely the flusher is covered in it because not everyone takes as much care as you do. It's time to wash those hands. Which hand do you turn the faucet on with? Yes, hands-free faucets should be in every home. Anyhow, hopefully your duty-free hand has turned on the hot water. Almost there, but still need some soap. Again, sort of tricky. Do you place your clean hand under the soap pump, then pump with your poop hand? I hope not. Your poop hand must never touch the soap. That should not spread shit to every person using the soap after you. The most efficient way is to use your clean hand to pump with the thumb into the clean hand. Never even getting your crap hand close to the dispenser. If you're not coordinated enough to use one hand to dispense the soap, make sure you pump the soap with your clean hand into your polluted hand. Gently lather, then just scrub under hot water for 20 seconds. Remember, the feces fingers shall never touch anything from the wipe until the 20-second scrub has been completed. Following these simple actions will go a long way, helping keep your bathroom clean and bacteria free. Exhibit 2 of cleanliness: shower habits. For us Gen Xers growing up in the 80s, there were few options available for making sure you cleaned up well in the shower. Baths, gross. I mean, laying in water that's polluted from everything you've scrubbed, along with all of the secretions, and probably better off not bathing at all. Anyways, back to shower technique. Back in the 80s, we had Irish Spring and a washcloth. You'd put soap on a wash rag and scrubbed your body. And when you were done, you wrung out the rag to use again. Of course, I was a child and I wasn't quite sweating like I do in the hot tin burger flipping box. But holy shit, it's 2025 and there's so much more to shower with. Mrs. Snowbird must have a dozen products. Yet I wonder if all the stuff is actually making folks any cleaner. Enter the loofah. Of course, not everyone uses a loofah. I've asked around. Some people use just a bar of soap. Lather up every nook and cranny, head to toe, front to back, they feel fulfilled. What about the tough, dirty spots? Well, they just don't get that dirty. I'd say in a perfect world, bar soap alone would be great. Just don't leave any hairs on it. Other folks, they're still old school. They use a wash rag and a bar of soap, or squeeze soap, doesn't matter. Some use the wash rag once, and they're done. Others, up to 2 or 3 times. Gross. That's a bunch of butthole on one tiny towel. Enter the loofah. A lot of folks use them. I use one, but maybe not anymore. I really started thinking about the loofah after numerous conversations with folks. Is a loofah any different than a wash rag? I get in the shower, shampoo up my hair, then start with the face, down to feet, then my mud flaps and butthole. Same process with a wash rag or bar of soap. The last thing I wash is presumably the dirtiest hole. Then I wring out my loofah to hang. Next shower, my face is first. Do you see the problem there? Rag, loofah, soap? It doesn't seem right to scrub your asshole first, then spread that shit around. But why is it okay to scrub the butt last and then do your face first thing on the next shower? You know, it's cool if you change your wash rag every time, but how often do you change a loofah? I was reading last night that the average age of throwing away a loofah is 1 month. Can you imagine using a wash rag for 1 whole month? That's 30 ass to mouths. Fucking gross and just not right. Sure, loofahs are the new normal. Totally acceptable, but I'm not going to use a washcloth for a month because it's fucking disgusting. You know why men's underwear is typically white? If they were brown, guys would wear that shit for a month. I think white washcloths is the only way, just like a hotel. I want to know if I'm cleaning myself with a dirty, disgusting towel. How would I ever know if my dark blue loofah was dirty? Guess what? I don't. And as of right now, I'm ordering hotel washcloths as soon as I figure out if I have enough money left over after Uncle Sam Day. Hope you've had fun listening in. If so, hit that subscribe button on your listening app and feel free to say hello on social media. Chubby Snowbird on X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Till next time, peace out.